Hey guys, watching Volgor's videos, and still have a battle wound from my accident. Yeah, I hope that'll work. Here is my latest beer to review, Genesee Ice. I've had this, I think, about a year ago. I had it in 24 ounce, and I didn't know what to think of it. But going back to it after I've had many other beers to try out, it's actually quite alright. This is 5.5%. I don't know if I've had all the ice beers, but I've had a lot of them. I've had, I think I've had Keystone Ice a long time ago, and unless, I don't know, I might have to look back, because it seems like if I've tried it, I've also recorded it. So maybe I have had it, maybe I hadn't, but I know Keystone Original's bad enough already. Milwaukee's Best Ice. That was just like Super Bush, which is weird because it's not even made by Anheuser. What's another one I've had? Oh, Ice House. That was the worst. It was like, I don't know. I can't describe it. It's just awful. And Natural Ice was just like drinking water, thick water, kind of. It was easy to drink, but cheap. But at the same time, it's only 6%. So, it's like it's cheap, but it's not that great, but like it's 5.9, not even 6%. Anyways, this is 5.5%, and I didn't really buy it because of the 5.5%, I bought it because it was cheap. And a 6-pack of 6-ounce cans is a whopping $5. It was like $5.89 or something, like $4.89. It wasn't even $5 for a 6-pack, so that's a good sign. Let's get a pour going. I'm using a Pepsi Cola glass today. Seems like a good glass to use. Alright. I don't really get any foul odors, like, I don't really smell like corn. I know there's gotta be some in there, but only if I really sniff hard. I smell some, but it doesn't smell so strong. It doesn't smell as pungent or foul. Anyways, I'm not really good at describing all the smells and all the flavors. I basically can tell you if it smells bad or not, I can give that much. The color, so I can move the lamp over this way. I don't know what you can see, but the color looks typical of a cheap beer, but there we go. It's got plenty of fizz, but it's not too carbonated. I don't know what to say. About right, I guess. It looks like an apple cider, which is not, which is fine by me. I mean, so I like apple cider beers. I mean, fine, they're good and all, but I mean, I'm not saying they taste bad, but it's like, come on, man up and buy a beer. I don't know. I don't know why I have such an attitude against apple ciders, but plus they're either, if you buy them in bulk, they're like $1 a bottle, or sometimes even $1 extra, Anyways, enough chit chat.
Is IKEA furniture that hard to put together?
Okay, I've done it. No, I couldn't believe it. Actually, if you read the directions.
Is it in Swedish?
No, but they do have, I think, different languages.
Right.
So if you do read the directions, you get through it. If you don't, like my brother, and he tries to put it.
So recording good.
Most of the time, he doesn't make it.
All right, now that I'm getting this beer down, I have to discuss what's going on. Sad news for my friend. His car, his 9.3, he called it Winston, even though, in my opinion, if it's an automatic, it's a female, so it's a transgender escort. Not really. It's not like he's ever going to see this video. What the fuck? Anyways, he called his escort that he calls Winston. Recently, we did a test on it. I pull out spark plug, started it up to see if it would spit out coolant, and it did. When I did it, and it did a little squirt, and we turned around, and I turned the key while he watched, and it just sprayed a geyser of coolant. And which is weird because, well, of course it was getting hot, and now it's been eating more coolant lately. But when I put my finger and wiped on the side of the exhaust pipe, it was dry, so I was a little surprised. But yeah, it's pretty bad. Now he starts it up, it's just a fog of, the exhaust is not smoke. It's not supposed to smoke, it's supposed to just dissipate. But it's just, that coolant fog. Sad. But he got, even though, some people say Fords suck. I used to think so at first. I used to think, Ford sucked, Dodge sucked. I used to think anything sucked that had a bad name. But I got better. I looked up reviews and looked up other reviews and did research. And if a series of cars actually held up and did good, a lot of people had good luck with them, then it's a good car, like a Ford Escort. That Escort has like 238,000 miles. Never had to change an axle or just thermostat housing, ignition. I think that's it. So that's about it. Not bad. Very refreshing. And at 5.5, it doesn't taste like it's a disgusting ice beer, because I've had disgusting ice beers. And it doesn't taste like a Busch, which is fine by me, like Milwaukee Ice does. Brr, it's cold. I think the high today was like 35 if we were lucky, which is cold for me. My body is warm. I got pajamas under my pants, but my hands are cold. Anyways, so we looked at this car yesterday. It's a 1990 Cutlass Cruiser. Ran and drove, really nice. Took me 2 hours to get the battery in because it's side post battery instead of top post. And there's a support beam across the top, and it was rusted on, so I couldn't do anything about that. Finally took it for a test drive. When my friend started it up, I checked the exhaust. Of course, there's oil in the exhaust. So, and it's $750 or $725, and it needs door seals because it leaks, and it needs a window motor on the passenger side. The passenger seat doesn't move back and forth, but he probably does not care about that. But it ran and drove so smooth, and it had the 3.3 V6. Just look it up, Cutlass Cruiser, white, awesome car. It's got rumble seats. You can haul at least 8 people, if not 10. Awesome car. But yeah, it's got oil at the exhaust, so, and he's only gonna be able to get $500 on a loan. So, shit. If we go back to look at that car, which we probably will, I may make sure to take a compression test. And I talked to my dad and a guy at Shucks, or AutoZone, and they said, well, do a compression test, because I was thinking, when I pulled out the dipstick, it was like that much too full. Like, there's a hot mark where the oil's supposed to go if it's hot. Well, it was cold, and the oil was that far up, and it was black. It was just dripping off. It was, oh man, it was sad. It was black. But I was hoping maybe it's because the oil's so thick, and maybe the PVC's bad. Maybe that's why oil's coming exhaust, because it ran fine. I don't remember looking at the oil pressure gauge, because it has gauges for everything. But I did record that, but I don't know if that even matters. Probably not. Anyways, so I'm going to have to take a compression test. AutoZone said do a compression test. If it's got good compression, then it's probably, it could just be a PVC valve, and for $500, his car's got a bad head gasket. It will get you by for a while. But, it's also a risk that even if it has good compression, oil coming out of the exhaust is never a good thing. So, valve guides, rings, sucks, because I love Cutlass Cruisers. It's my favorite cars. I told the lady that had it, I said, I'd rather have one of those Cutlass Cruisers than a brand new Mustang. And I don't even care. I don't even care who's going to tell me I'm stupid. I'd rather have that because you get great gas mileage. You get like 19 in the city and 30 on the highway on a V6. Are you kidding me? Still have plenty of power. Yeah. Anyways, if you're curious to see what it wants to know what it looks like, actually, never mind. I can't tell you because it's not on Craigslist. So I was going to say send you a link, but can't do that. So he's torn, probably because he was really getting his heart set on this car. But you know, you can't have your heart set on anything until you know for sure it's going to be good and not have any problems. So shopping around for cars and yeah. Unless he just I don't know, just faces up and I don't know what's the phrase, but you know, bites the bullet and gets the head gasket worked on, which I don't want to do. That sounds like too much work for me. Oh shit, I'm too thirsty. So, how long have I rambled in this video? 1 minute. So, Genesee Ice. If you're not super picky, or, you know what, I'm still better than Budweiser, and, yeah, I think it's pretty decent for what it is. 5.5% might not seem like much, but, you know, your typical beer, like Busch, Rolling Rock, that's 4.7. That's almost 1% more, if that matters. I don't know, but yeah. It's too bad it's not like, well, I guess it's the same as Mickey's. And to compare this with Mickey's, I don't know. Very similar, I guess, but maybe this is a little bit maybe crisper, easier to down, maybe. I don't know. I didn't drink them back to back, but I'm recommending it. My review would probably be a high 7.5. Depending on the price, an 8. You know, pretty good. I mean, well, yeah, 7.5, I guess, because it's dirt cheap. You know, if you can buy a 6-pack for $5 after deposit, you know, you can't complain. That's good stuff. There's a couple I was thinking about getting at Weimar. Weimar has an interesting selection. They have get your hams. Get the one I was thinking about getting next is Irish Red, something like that. That was $5 for 12 bottles. So that'd be 5.25. Anyways, so I think this is worth it. I think it's good. It's easy to drink. If you don't want something so heavy like 211, just either you can't handle it or it's too much of a percentage for you. You want something that it even looks classy. You know, look at that, Genesee Ice. It looks classy. It doesn't look run-of-the-mill, or it doesn't look like you worship a corporate conglomerate. I like it. You know, that's something I like about hams. So when you drink it, it doesn't look like you're not feeding into a corporate conglomerate. I don't think so. Unless Hams was bought out by Pabst, or whoever owns Pabst. I don't know. I'm rambling. This is the end of my glass. Yeah, it's very easy to drink. You just pound these to great, cheap beer. If I could find a case, I'd probably buy a case, but I haven't. I'm always looking at different flavors to try out, but anyways, I'm done ranting and rambling. If you watched this review and heard the information, or you know, the story about the car, tell me your thoughts and tell me if you've tried this and whatnot. All right, see you next time.